going today. I'm gonna make a brand new start of it. That old New York. I don't know the words, but I think I'm close. What I'm doing here is I'm testing out the um, signal here because I wasn't able to shoot Sunday school prior to me coming here to New York, and I wanted to test the signal to see how was it doing. For those of you who are going to show up in the comment section, how are you all? Tell me, Robbie and Robin and Vanessa, how's the signal? Queen and Dr. Brian Williams, it's good. Good to see you, Corey Swain, Emily J. I don't typically do these on my phone because I have a professional office I can do them in with a professional microphone and professional lighting, blah, blah, blah. And just wanted to make sure that the audio here is good. And I'm going horizontal, I'm going, what's the other one? Vertical. And so I don't know how it looks on your phone. It's a good day here in New York. It's a good 70, maybe 70, cool 72 degrees. It feels real nicely. I plan to meet about 9 bunkers tonight at a barbecue place up the street past Times Square, which is back that way. It's about a 20-minute walk from my hotel. And I'm excited to meet the bunkers and enjoy towards the end of my apostolic journeys to the many cities that you all live in. You people in Carolina, I hope to see you real soon. I'd like to take a trip to California and Florida soon as well. So good to see you, all of you. The protesters, Valentine protesters here, not where I am. No protesters. I didn't know there would be protesters here. I know that Los Angeles is not on shutdown. It is. I think it's silly, funny, and sad at the same time that your president is doing what he's doing with the National Guard and military. I think it's ridiculous, and I know why he's doing it. And I'll present a show when I return. But I wanted to talk about a couple questions off of the Brian song, Carnality Thingy. All right. Wendy's sister, Robin, Florida. Yes. I got to get down there to Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, Tampa. I don't know where y'all at, but we'll figure it out. But this is a kind of a part 2 to the Brian Carn saga with some questions that was posed to me. And I make the mention of a quote from Maya Angelou: when a man shows you who he is, believe him. The full response, the full quote is: when a man shows you who he is, believe him the first time. That's kind of important, and I think it works that way in the mindset of a woman as she sees a man, but it works the same way in the mindset of a man as he sees a woman, because it really goes both ways. When a woman shows you who she is, believe it. But today I'm talking about a man. If you are on Patreon, all right, I'm being followed, y'all. They're bunkers too. They really enjoy the show. They enjoy the show. If you go on Patreon, I dropped something last night on Before You React, or something like that, the name of the title. And I talked about biases. And I asked y'all a question: what is a bias? Can you explain what it is? I gave you 3 types of biases: confirmation bias, loss aversion, and anchoring. And those 3 we use, whether we do it on purpose or not. We use them as we're trying to analyze other people when we don't even realize that we can't see our own biases. And I brought up intuitive and reflective attributes that we have, and it's the reaction opposed to respond. So typically in relationships, we do react to something that we don't like, we disagree with, without responding properly. We fight with in relationships, romantic relationships or business relationships, based off of our confirmation biases because we stand on our opinions and our cognitive dissonance. And so we can't really see, even though truth is shown to us, we can't see the truth because we lean on our confirmation. We also lean on what is called anchor. Anchoring is the first information that you get, that's the information that you will stand on. I often talk about men who are creatures of habit. Ladies, if a man come in your house for the first time and he sets his key, wherever he sets his key, that will be the place he set his key forever. If a man lay in your bed, whatever side he lays on, the left side or the right side, wherever he lays first, that's where he's going to lay. Wherever a man lay his hat, that is his home. Even if it is an uncomfortable place to be, what happens is we conform and we adapt to the uncomfortability of our status quo. All of us have this. And this is why people get hooked on drugs and smoking and whatever bad habit that they have. They initially take the puff and causes them to cough. All right, it causes your body to react in a negative way. But you keep doing that because you're looking for a result, an end result, until smoking becomes something natural and then the body begins to crave it. So whether it's loss aversion, which is I feel more sorrow and pain if I lost $100 than the joy I would feel if I found $100. So typically what we do is we cry over spilled milk, but we don't have the same joy we have when we go to the store and buy the same amount of milk that we spilled or even more. So that's called loss aversion. And we are capitalizing on the minor things in life. It becomes the heavy weight in ourselves. So if you're not part of the Patreon family, go over there and sign up to the upper room, and we're going to continue in our critical thinking when I return on these things that will help you understand why men act the way they do, talk the way they do, why women act the way they do, talk the way they do, why they're so emotional, why when you're trying to explain to them what's happening, they don't want to hear you, they can't hear you, they don't want to hear you. And there's philosophical explanations to all of these things, and I think pastors should pay close attention to the social and anthropological, um, status quos of men, so that you can understand why a person is having the problems that they have, so that you can talk them off of ledges. Yes, you can pray with them and you can talk with them, but some of the best remedies I've received from my pastors in the past is when they just took me for a walk, because what I needed was not a pastor, what I needed was a father. So I think these kind of studies will help us understand why people act the way they do. Y'all understand? So the first question that I was asked as a part two to the Brian Carnes situation, and why he wanted so many women and why he had so many what I may have called bed wenches. Um, the question was, why won't a man just tell a woman what he wants instead of showing her over time so that she can just guess? Why don't you just tell her what you want? Well, why? If you're trying to do something that is um, not proper, that is not righteous, that is insensitive, unlawful, Why would a thief tell you that he's coming? And Jesus alluded to that by even saying that he's coming as a thief in the night. A thief don't just come during the day hours, knowing that you probably it's a Saturday and he know you at home, so he comes during the day, knock on the door, ring the bell. He don't do that. He typically comes at night when you are asleep. If he comes in the daytime, he tries to do it when he knows he watches the house to see if you left the house and went to work in the morning. You understand? So um, a man is not going to tell you what he wants in a relationship. He's going to do things, and if you're not paying attention to what he's doing, he's going to do them, and then he know you're watching him, so he's going to do certain things. This is why it can be kind of difficult that Maya Angelou quote have some flaws to it, because a man who's not thinking what he does, you should believe from the first time. But a man who is manipulative and pimpish, he know you're watching, and so he will do things on purpose because he knows you're watching, and then you will believe the lie. So the quote has flaws. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So to ask a question, why won't he tell you up front? Well, no thief will tell you that he's coming. In my relationships, in my latter years, not my earlier years, my earlier years is that I really wanted happiness with a woman. I wanted a family, or I just wanted to be alone with her, what have you. And I did not express to her the truth. I didn't want her to know the truth, especially if I was being manipulative, because I just wanted sex. I didn't want to. What man would just tell a woman I want sex and that's all? You know, he the likelihood of him losing her is quick. Okay, that was the old me. The new me began to tell more truth. And what was that truth? Let's go out for a sandwich. And let me tell you, before we leave this house, leave this wherever we're getting ready to go, this is not a date. I don't like to eat alone. I just want a sandwich with you. All right? You need to know that. The reason why I do that now, well, now meaning in my latter years, is because when I did go out for dinner with the young lady, we had a great time. We didn't talk about no romantic stuff or nothing. It just was a great conversation. And when I took her back home, a few days later, I was getting phone calls from people saying, "Congratulations, I hear that y'all are getting married." Sam, and I was shocked. Okay, I was shocked, and I realized then I had to make sure that I let people know now what we are doing and what we are and what we are not. If we're going out for coffee or tea or a sandwich, that is all it is. Period. Now, some of you may be asking, why do you have to why would you have to even do that? Because women today are thirsty. And they are moving past their flower of time. They are in a hurry. They need to hurry up and do something because they know they're getting older, or they are obsessed with someone, and you got to cover yourself. Elaine Williams, that escalated real quick, didn't it? The wind is blowing out here, and my respiratory system is kind of sensitive to wind blowing, so I may snot or my eyes may leak. So I ain't trying to be nasty, y'all. So because of the thirst out there, I have to. No, I'm in. For those of you who are just coming in, I'm in New York. Times Square is right up the street there, off of Fifth. fourth or third, wherever it is. Okay. Um, so now what I do is I tell young lady or whoever I'm with, this is not that kind of thing. We're just eating. If I'm interested in a woman, all right, I'm using generals right now because right now I'm fine. I need y'all to know I'm fine right now. Okay, I'm fine. So I'm using generals right now. So if I'm with a woman and I find interest in her, then I now tell her, again, this is just an example. I now tell her, all right, I want to get to know you as a friend. I'm not looking for this or I'm not looking for that. You have to be real with women. And if you're real with a woman, guess what, brothers? They're going to be real with you. Because if you tell her, I don't want marriage, I just want a friendship, or I want friends with benefits. This is not about righteousness. This is not about salvation. Right now, what I'm talking about is about what is. We already know what the scripture says, but I'm telling you what is. You understand? So for those of you who are holy rollers in here, getting ready to tell me what the Bible says, I'm telling you what's happening right now. Sometimes you gotta look at what life is right now, find people where they are. That's why I'm doing these classes on biases on Patreon, because you all are not thinking. Come on, Timothy, this is human 101. Find people where they are, and then you can talk about the Bible later. Find them where they are right now. Because if you start bringing up the Bible, you're going to start hearing falsities, false conversions, or false status quos. People typically change their conversation when they know that you're coming from a Christian perspective. They change their talking points, and you blew your cover. And I'm not saying that the Christians should be undercover, but you should be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Love you too, D. Charles. I'm in New York meeting the bunkers. Okay, so you either say I want friendship with benefits, which means I want to be friends, but I want to have sex. She would tell you I don't want that, or she would tell you I want that too. Ask me how I know. All right. But if you're on the believer's end, you obviously may want friendship, and with the hopes that maybe you will get to a point of a long-lasting, maybe marriage or something like that. But as a believer, you shouldn't go into a relationship and then go into a romantic relationship and not plan for the end result, the future result. Now, this is controversial here, and I don't really have the time, or I'm not going to take out the time, because the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 did give us something that is controversial as he was talking about those who are not married. Stay unmarried. Stay unmarried. He said, dwell with your virgin. Don't marry her. Nobody, Mother Bobo or Sister Mayhem, never bring that part of the scriptures up. Never do. So what did he says is, but I can't have y'all burning in your flesh. So he said it's just better to just go ahead and marry, so you won't be burning so much. So it sounds like he is giving this is not what he's saying, but to a person who's not a critical thinker and don't understand context, it sounds like he's saying, if you're not married, don't get married, but you can go ahead and dwell with each other if you want to. Putting fire to your bones. He said, but if it gets too much and you can't handle it, go ahead and get married. You got to really break this down, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. He said, for those who are married, he said, it's best that you just go ahead and stay married. You're good. He said, I'm not trying to tell y'all to divorce. But contextually, what he was saying is, because of the present time, things are hard right now. and it's just not good for some people to be married. Jesus alludes to it. He says the day is going to come when tribulation is going to come. It's not good for a woman to even have be pregnant with a child. He says the abomination of desolation, the Antichrist is coming, the son of perdition is coming, and you all may need to pack your bags and go hide on the hills. So the state that you're in when the end comes may not be a good state for you, and this is why the apostle was trying to tell people, listen, you're married now, so stay married. But if you're not married right now, don't do it. Don't do it. So there are some people who you might be watching this show right now. It is not a good idea for you to get married. Don't do it. I adjure you, don't do it. And some of you should never do it. You should have never done it when you did it. You wasn't ready. You didn't know yourself, and you sure didn't know your party. So you dealt with the biases that's within you that you couldn't see, the confirmation biases, the anchor bias, and the loss aversion bias. Again, go to Patreon to look at last night's show. You don't know yourself, but you know other people. So yesterday, the assignment I gave y'all is why is it that we're able to see the biases in other people, but we can't see them in ourselves? So the CEO of your corporation can't see it. Human resources can't see their own biases. But when you have a problem, they can see your problem and analyze your problem perfectly, but they can't analyze their own problems. This is why people who go into the healthcare industry, those who are psychiatrists and psychologists, can analyze someone perfectly and tell them that they have this type of mental illness and give a name to it. That person in themselves, or the professional, is dealing sometimes with the same problem that he's trying to analyze in another person. Same problem. And this is what happened to Brian Karn when the woman wrote up her manifesto, her exposure, Facebook. She was saying that Brian Karn was rebuking someone from the pulpit about something sin that they was committing, yet when it was over, he and I would be in a hotel room or what have you, doing what we were doing. And when she said that, I said, wow, this is what I'm studying right now. This is exactly what I'm studying right now. Being able to know someone's bias and not know yours. I'm thankful to be what? Married, and the way my life is set up. I like that. I don't even want to be without my wife. That's good, man. That's good, John Hudson. I thank God for you, and I like it when you come over here and give hope to those who are married or those who want to get married. You always bring the positive side of marriage. And you speak like my father, who loved my mom until she died. He loved being married. He loved it. Yet there are those who did not love it. I didn't love it. I liked it until we started having problems. Then I hated being married. And I wanted out. I wanted out. So there's many of you out there who never should have done it because you didn't understand your own biases and weaknesses and inability to know yourself before you push yourself into the mindset of others. Let's see, where am I? So the question was, why won't a man just tell a woman what he wants instead of showing her over time for her to guess? And I answered that. Second question was, why not give the woman an opportunity to decide whether she wants to go into that relationship or not? I'm not going to give you an opportunity to pull out your gun and defend yourself against me, who got my gun pointing at you, telling you to give me your purse. Why would I give you an opportunity to decide? I see you walking down the street. You got a nice booty. You got nice breasts. You got long flowing hair. You got beautiful eyes. You got sexy legs. I want you. And if I'm a lustful man, I want that. I want that. All I want out of that is to tap. Go to my book, Girl A, Girl B. That's the girl that he tapped. A girl D, girl A and D. He just want tap. He don't want no longer lasting relationship. He will not introduce these women to his mama or his sisters or any special women in my life. He just want to tap and move on. I'm not going to give you an opportunity to know all of me and what my intent is. Not the truth of my intent, and I'm not going to give you an opportunity to tell me what you're going to do. I'm going to wine and dine you until I can tap. And then I'm going to keep you in that place of captivity until I'm done with you. I'll discard you and move on to maybe your sister. Do you understand? So this was the Brian Karn effect. That woman, when she said what she said, it was so brilliant because she really uncovered not just him, but us, meaning societal norms in men who are very powerful, who were not trained and fathered. Some people were saying on the show I did that he did have a father who traveled with him. Traveling with the son don't mean a hill of beans if you're not showing and telling the son what he should and should not do. And number two, there's some places he should not have gone. My father, although he had prodigy children, sons, his sons were musicians, serving the church. All my brothers played, and we traveled through the depth and breadth of this country. The problem was we were young, the women were after us, and my father forbade us from going to certain venues and certain churches and going to certain revivals in certain cities and towns and what have you. He didn't let us go because he knew that we would get caught up in some stuff. This is what Brian Karn's father should have done. He should have forbade him from going to certain places. Should have forbade him. Instead of, just because he went with him don't mean nothing. Then there was somebody who had somebody comment and said, because there were a lot of Brian Karn supporters in the comment section. Y'all should read it. And one woman said, you should never leave your pastor. When I was telling y'all I'm a prophet, his people will never leave him. Remember when I said that? And then I asked the question, what's going to happen to him? And y'all said nothing. And nothing happened. His Bible study that night, all he did was sang and basically they sang with him. And he pulled them in. He good. Nothing will happen to Brian Karn. Nothing. Because there is no accountability. He started that work. That's his ministry. You can't fire a man from his own work. Can't do it. They are bewitched, John Hudson. So the woman said, you never leave your pastor. I said, wow, he got her in his grips. She will never leave him. She will never leave him. So I'm not going to give a woman an opportunity to tell me what she think is right. I run this thing. That's my answer to that second question. The second question again was, why not give the woman an opportunity to decide whether she wants to go into that relationship or not? That's my answer. The last one, because it's about 30 minutes in, how long should a woman stay in the relationship? You can just chill. That depends. What relationship? Because once the truth comes out and she knows that is the truth, she should leave immediately. The problem is, again, when a woman invests in something that she also desires, she's going to stay in it with the hopes that he changes. Men don't change. Men evolve. they don't really change. Typically, they don't change. Some men have gotten better, but typically men evolved. Um, Notice what the woman said, the Brian Karn uh, ex of 10 years. She said, you can give him, you can cook for him, nothing will happen. You will clean for him, nothing will happen. You can give him sex, he's not going to change. And she said, you can give him a threesome. She says, that won't change him. Remember she said that? So my answer to that is, your question is, when should a woman leave? Soon as she come into the knowledge of the truth, she should leave. But can she leave? No. She made an investment. In my first book, I talk about investing opposed to trading and long investment. A trader is a person who sees something that they want, they buy it, and they hold it for a short period of time with the hopes that they can sell it for a higher amount. And they get rid of it. It's gone after they find the highest bidder. An investor sees something that he thinks or she thinks that is going to be worth more over a long period of time. When it's time for them to sell it, it will be worth much more over time. He's or she is in it for the long haul. Relationships work the same way. Same way. There are some women who gets into a relationship and she, like him, is a trader. She knows that this is going to be short-lived. I'm going to get something out of him and I'm going to move on. Whether it's money, whether it's sex, whether he is going to pay her bills, and then she's going to cut it off because she's always trading. She's looking for another man to take on more of her expenses. It might be her heart expense as well. And it just goes on and on like the lottery. A lot of women are doing that today because we keep focusing on the man acting the way he is. Women are catching up to men at an alarming rate. So she's a trader. But then there are women who have honestly invested her time and resources in this man because she wants to hold on to him. And that is the 10-year relationship that this woman had with Brian Karn. She held on to him because he kept calling her my wife. It's busy here, isn't it? It's quite busy here. She's like, I'm on the corner of 42nd and 3rd. Jimmy Breslin Way. I don't know who Jimmy Breslin is. Can somebody Google it for me? Google it for me. This look like the I can see King Kong falling off of that, the Empire State Building. Okay, y'all understand? So she wants a long-lasting, happily ever after relationship. She may not get it. So when should she leave? Immediately once she realizes the truth. Get out. And what will happen? She will cry. And the problem with those kind of long relationships is that she can find herself falling into the arms of another man real fast. Why? Because she's used to what they did. And when something is void, then typically what a woman wants to do is refill it. And this is why you'll see a person, who's been divorced. They might have been divorced 2 or 3 times within short periods of time because they're constantly looking for love in all the wrong places. After my first divorce, I wasn't trying to get married. I wasn't thinking about it. It affected me a long time. And I was divorced for 10 long years, which was not common for a man like me who was in ministry, who was in the music world. It was not common for me to wait 10 years. before I decided to do it again. So yes, I would say to each his own, but there's some commonalities in everything that I'm saying. hmm Jimmy Breslin was a famous author and journalist of New York. James Earl Breslin was an American journalist. Okay, an author. That's who he was? All right. Thank you, Rogers. I think somebody else said it earlier. Who was that? John Hudson. Thank you for that. Now I know I'm sitting on his street. He's not, I guess he's not with us anymore, right? That's like so folks can be without a mate. Yeah. Yeah, some people can't live alone. Some people can't be alone. They feel it's dangerous for them to even be alone, so they got to be with somebody, which causes them to not be able to think properly, and they just hook up with anybody, and before you know it, they're in bed with everybody. That person needs God, but they need to be shown who He is. Praise songs, blessing to you. That person needs. That person don't need to be preached to. That person really needs someone intimate who can walk and talk with them like a father or like a mother. Could really be that, fill that void, temporarily until they can get on their feet, because they've been really played with. Their lives have been played with, and they've wasted so many years looking for love in and out of relationships in a high body count. And I'm talking about me, as I'm talking about maybe some of you, not knowing how to be alone. Learning how to be alone really takes some time and somebody who can sit down and talk to you about it. And it may take a little while. We're proud to honor Jimmy Breslin along a great New York City street where over 60 years of reporting, he helped establish the hard-edged gumshoe reporting. Gumshoe. Can you Google gumshoe reporting? What is that? Is that a person who is walking up and down the streets with gums on their shoes? Is that what you call that? It must be a New York thing. All right, you all, I've been talking for about 37 minutes. And I just wanted to see if I can answer those great questions. I think they were very great questions that was asked to me. To be loved on in the right way through Christ alone. Timothy Jackson, absolutely. Cassie M, overlook all the red flags. Yes. Okay, Luann says police that walks a beat. Thank you. Didn't know that. Investigative reporting, Sam says. D. Wade says a type of investigative journalist where reporters, like private detectives, actively seek out and uncover stories, often require a keen eye and persistence. Wow. That is cool, y'all. I didn't know that. I'm learning something every day. Gumshoe reporting, Robbie says where someone is very observant and never lets details slide. Details stay like gum in a shoe. Wow, that's the name. That's cool. That's pretty cool. And I think that's what I'm doing. I'm going to prove it to y'all. I'm going to prove it to y'all. So what am I? Am I a garbage shoe walker? New York can be quite dirty. I walked up and down. Where was I last night? I was walking towards Central Park. Man, all that garbage on the side of the street. I'm not used to seeing garbage just all up and lined up and down the street, just garbage. It's a dirty city, but they don't have alleys like Chicago, so I get it. And it could be quite smelly. Every 10 feet I walked, I had to cover my nose. But that's part of the experience of being in New York. And April said, thanks for the meaning of gumshoe reporting. Yeah, that was pretty good. Gumshoe past the monkey moves. Watch out for the pigeons. Yeah, I'm just people watching right now. All right. That's Lassie. Yeah, I'm just sitting here people watching. All right. Well, I brought my homework, so I'm gonna go back upstairs and do my homework. I'll meet the bunkers at 8:30 tonight for a barbecue, and if I get an opportunity, maybe I'll do come back and do a live with maybe a couple of them if I have it. If it's not too noisy, I hear that place is very noisy, so you may not be able to hear anything. I'm hoping you all heard me crystal clear. I'm close to the microphone so that you all can hear my talking points, because this is a noisy corner here on 47th, 42nd, and that Briz guy. Yeah, I'm doing my gumshoe walk and reporting. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I see y'all for Sunday school tomorrow, like this, probably outside. I don't know. 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Let's see what the Sunday school lesson is all about. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll study it tomorrow at some point, at some time, and I'll be home for Father's Day, and we'll get back to whatever we do. Okay. I told my neighbor that what she told me sounds like she's desperate, and you're worth more than that. And she deserved to be treated like the princess she is. Vanita Halls, you told her right, and thank you for doing that. Just a woman who loves God. Thank you. You heard me? Good. Amen. Thank you, TT. And the rest of you all. All right. I'm going to go. I might have showed my hotel room in a hotel, that is. I hope I didn't. If I did, I'm going to have to move out because I do not like people knowing where I'm staying. As a single man who's trying to be protective, I don't like showing people where I'm staying. There is one male bunker. That is two bunkers here actually, but one canceled on me tonight. So I like being where men are, but I do have a plan B for a male bunker in New York. I'm going to make that phone call in a few minutes. Okay? All right, y'all. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see y'all again tomorrow. All right? Derek Carter, welcome to our hometown. Oh, that's your hometown, Carter? I think I might have remembered you saying that, but I don't remember. As a flight attendant, we were always told not to share your hotel info for security purposes. Yeah, Danny Darkins, that's right, brother. I can't tell y'all. I just can't tell you. And it might have showed on here, and that's just, it is what it is. I'll see if I can get the police to stand at my door tonight so that I can be protected. Praise on the barbecue. It's called Dallas Barbecue. Punch that in. Dallas Barbecue. I think it's on 42nd as well. Past Times Square. It's right in the Times Square area. Type that in on Google. That man looked like Koch. I thought Koch was dead. That look like Mayor Koch. What's Koch's first name? Didn't he die? He became a judge. Did he become a judge as well? Mayor Koch. Look just like him. I think he'd come up out the grave. Dallas Barbecue. Yes. So yeah, it's somewhere over there. Oh, they have several locations? Okay, the one on 42nd Street. Yeah, Ed, that's his name, Ed. That look like Ed Koch. I'm like, didn't he die like 2003 or something like that? Okay. That's his clone, minister. That's his clone. Okay, I was looking for the address because I grew up in Queens. He passed away a long time ago. Okay, Eugenia Riddick. You Queens girl? And somebody I flew in LaGuardia and I'm flying out at JFK, and the Uber rides is a ripoff. It costs $100. Because of the time I flew in, it typically costs $100 from LaGuardia to Manhattan. $100. If you're lucky, you might get somebody for 90, 95 bucks. So I thought they lost my baggage. Here I am doing a part 2 to the show. I thought they lost my baggage. Maybe I'll tell y'all about that tomorrow. I'll tell you about that tomorrow. Because I was getting up, this trip was about to be ruined because my laptop, everything is in my laptop, and I thought they lost my baggage. And I said, oh boy, well, this trip is ruined. Ruined. And catching that ride from the airport, both airports is going to cost you about $100 for Uber and Lyft. Depending on what time of day it is, it's typically about $100. But the Lord blessed me. He blessed me because my delay in waiting on my bags got me a good Uber deal. I was worrying about stuff, and God was telling me, I got you in everything. In everything, y'all, give thanks. Y'all go ahead and put that in the comment section as I go. In everything, give thanks. You say I should have called on a train and bus? No, I did not want my trip to be another 2 hours. Getting to my hotel room, no, I wanted to get home as soon as I could. In everything, give thanks. Take care. I love y'all. See you tomorrow. Or tonight, depending on the noise. Ah!